fell from the clouds, felt the crash. High horse bucked me off the path. Smitten, lost, can't find my way. Below rock bottom, here I'll stay. I was riding, up on that horse. Thought I had it all, no doubts, no remorse. Fell hard, right down below, lower than rock bottom, where dreams don't go. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up, trying to find my luck. Lost in the shadows, can't find the light. Wandering aimless through endless night. Should've been straight, but I took the curve. Now I'm stuck in this mess with nerve. Broken wings, shattered dreams, echoes of laughter, now just screams. Trying to climb back up the wall, but every step, it's a harder fall. Once high up in the sky so blue, now the ground's the only view. Regrets a heavy chain around my feet, dragging me down into this defeat. I look for answers in the dark, hoping to kindle a single spark, just a spark. But all I find is the cold and the pain, circling around like a never-ending chain. Gotta find a way to break free from this. Reclaim the throne I start to miss. Claim the throne. Right now just lost in despair. Grasping for hope, it's nowhere. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up, trying to find my luck. Tired eyes looking for a sign. Fractured heart, cracked by time. Should've been straight, paid my dues. Now I'm haunted by the blues. Hey, you see them running in circles tight. Always got a story they rehearse tonight. Asking for dimes, they got no shame. Blaming the world for all their pain. Oh, they say, let me hold something. Always needing, always fronting. You're the wrong one, can't you see? Crazy seeing the world differently. They spin tails and point fingers keen. Victim medals glisten in the sheen. Borrowed time and shallow dreams, forever caught in their scheme. Oh, they say, let me hold something. Always needing, always fronting. You're the wrong one, can't you see? Crazy seeing the world differently. Watch them call you cold, heart tight. When you say no, they see for fight. Indignation, such a plight. In the victim Olympics night, running in that endless race. Mass smiles but no grace. Holding hands and casting blame. Life's just a hollow game. Oh, they say, let me hold something. Always needing, always fronting. You're the wrong one, can't you see? Crazy seeing the world differently. Oh, they say, let me hold something. They spin tails and point fingers keen. Victim medals glistening in the sheen. Borrowed time and shallow dreams, forever caught in their scheme. Watch them call you cold hard tight. When you say no, they see for fight. Indignation, such a plight. In the victim Olympics night. Oh, they say, let me hold something. Always needing, always fronting. You're the wrong one, can't you see? Crazy seeing the world differently. Oh, they say, let me hold something. Always needing, always fronting. You're the wrong one, can't you see? Crazy seeing the world differently. Watch them call you cold hard tight. When you say no, they see fight. Indignation, such a plight. In the victim Olympics night. Running in that endless race. Mass smiles but no grace. Holding hands and casting blame. Life's just a hollow game.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? This beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon. And you want to know how I know it's beautiful? You want to know how I know it's beautiful? I have friends all over the country, and they showed me that there is no longer snow on their lawn, and it's just beautiful. It's sunny and green outside. So I'm like, you know what? Today is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon. Welcome. I am Techie Ralph. We are engineered to win. As always, we do not miss because
we the best.
We are the best. So today we're going to continue fighting with our Kubernetes deployment of our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. We're making progress. I was looking at the logs last week and I saw some things that didn't quite make too much sense, but I did see that we had issues with some connecting to the database. We're going to do some investigation. The issue with that is it is harder to troubleshoot on the cloud than it is on your local machine because you can easily see it. But guess what? That's why we're here. We're going to figure it out because if we can't get it to work on the cloud, then it's meaningless. Just because we can do it on our local machine, but we can't do it on the cloud, it means absolutely nothing. All right. So let's get into a little bit of housekeeping. Let's welcome to the show, So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here on the Techie Drop channel. What we do here, we do all types of things tech. And then on Saturday mornings, we get a little bit more into the economic and political side to see what's going on with the economy, with our tax dollars, all of that good stuff. We had an amazing show yesterday, which actually leads to one of our first break time discussions, but we'll get into that at that point. But I was feeling some kind of way yesterday at the end of the show by a chat comment that we had. I was like, you know what? I'm going to lightly address it from a bigger perspective today, but that'll be on our first break. Let's jump into our agenda really quick before I say hi to all my friends in the chat. So first and foremost, I just got to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel. We are getting so many new subscribers because my only goal here is to add value into your life, whether it is on YouTube, whether it's in the Patreon, whether it's on the Discord. Yesterday we had a great session in the Patreon Discord, where I was doing some Python help, helping some members to get a better grasp of how to think through writing the code and stuff like that. So it was an amazing time. But so thank you to all the subscribers to the channel who are allowing me to add value into your life. You guys are the absolute best. Whether you are a brand new subscriber or whether you have been with me for a very, very long time, whether you are very active in the chat and in the comments, or whether you lurk in the chat, whether you don't speak in the chat much. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you're here. As long as you're here, I appreciate you 1,000%.
I appreciate you.
And as always, again, I got to give a big shout out to all of the Patreon members, my tech barbarians, my tech prodigy members, my technical explorers, and all of those who have even signed up for the Patreon for free. Because guess what? Even with the free membership, I still try to add a little bit of value to you, such as providing you with our sprint reviews that we do on a every other week basis. Like the way that I run the coaching program is just like just like you would get it at work. We have our sprints, we have our retrospect, we have our sprints, we have our stand-ups, we have our reviews, retrospective, and planning for the next sprint. So tonight we have our Scrum night. It's going to be really, really good. So I highly encourage you to be there. We're going to be talking about the MVP, the idea for the MVP of our new application, which is going to be about a app to help you prepare better for interviews. We're going to be integrating a little bit of AI into it. So we're going to be looking into what it's going to be our first stories to start implementation tonight. So you definitely want to be there if you are in the Team Tech Coach Ralph Patreon. It's going to be fun. All right. It is going to be fun. All right. Also, I have to let you know that I appreciate every last one of you guys, and the tech barbarians, my tech prodigy members, my technical explorers, the free Patreon members. You guys are absolutely the best.
We the best.
And shout out to my tech mercenaries out there. Those are the ones who keep the YouTube channel going, because if it wasn't for you, oops, I pressed the wrong button. If it wasn't for you, I would not be able to do this on a just about every single day basis. So you guys, let's continue. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So shout out to all of you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. All right. So our next live show is going to be tomorrow morning. We're going to be working on our large language models. We're going to be continuing integrating. I think we integrated Google, the Google Gemini large language model into it this past. I think we had a little bit more to do to look into that, but we'll see where we're going to go from there. And then we're going to just continue learning about it and integrating, looking into like multimodal language, stuff like that, right? But that's what we do in the mornings, Mondays and Wednesday mornings around 7:45 a.m. for the Coffee and Kata show. That's the plan for tomorrow. We're going to be going live Tuesday night for our Q&A session. And then we also have our Candid Conversations premiering tomorrow, which I'm going to be talking about the evolution of quality assurance. It's a tough topic. I don't honestly, I don't like talking about QA that much, just because of so much, I guess I have to be honest. So much, I see a lot of misinformation and scamming going on in the whole tech space, QA space, software engineering space, even like, there's so much scamming that's going on that it kind of like hard for me to talk about it, because I despise scammers and stuff like that. So it is what it is. So we'll get there. We will get there. But yeah, so that's our upcoming shows. Quick announcements before we move on. If you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live and drop new content. As well, take the traumatic brain injury survey. My cousin, who suffered a traumatic brain injury last year in a biking accident. I just spoke to her earlier today. She said she's getting better, like on less medication, and she just ordered her podcast material to start creating content about this. So people who have suffered a traumatic brain injury can get some help and a community to reach out to, as well as people who have a relative who suffers from a traumatic brain injury can also know how to help their loved ones with that as well. All right. So check out the traumatic brain. I'm gonna drop it in the chat real quick. I know it's gonna be circulating throughout the night, but in case it hasn't been dropped yet, let me drop it in the chat, because the more people who fill out the survey, the better, because she is trying to get as much data as possible. All right. And lastly, if you haven't joined the Tech Coach Off Patreon, you can even sign up for free. But you're gonna be missing out on a lot of benefits, like being part of the Team Tech Coach Off Discord, where yesterday one of my tech barbarians, they were getting information gathering session about building the app that we're going to be working on next to see, and they're leading the app, right? They're pretty much the product manager, and they're going to be participating in the QA process and the UI UX design. So a lot of hats, but it just forces them to build more experience and more confidence. My tech barbarian, like sometimes they don't like to be on camera. Yesterday they were on camera, and they were led for the people in the chat who were there yesterday. How did my tech barbarian do? Did they kill it or what? Right. So, but that's what we do. So check out techcoach.dev if you want to participate in any of the things that we do. Sign up and let's go out there and get it. All right. Let's go out there and get it. All right. With that being said, we are going to check the chat, and then we will actually get to work on our first segment of DevOps, all right, Kubernetes deployment. So let me start by saying hello to my amazing friends. First and foremost, we have Miss Freckles in the building, says hello chat and wonderful mods of the TCR show. Welcome, Miss Freckles. You are a blessing to have here as always. Miss Freckles, and shout out to Miss Freckles for becoming a member of the Tech Coach Rob channel. Says, how do you say balonies for 500? How do you say that? Okay. Hopefully I nailed it. All right. Because Miss Freckles is a member of the channel, I will try to say the tough words, right? So if you have these words with like more than 2 syllables that need to be said, I will not read them unless they come from a member or from a super chat. And and you also have to give me like the pronunciation, how to sound it out, because yeah, you guys are not going to be embarrassing me for free. All right. You guys are not going to be embarrassing me for free. So I'm just letting you know right now, right? We have my good old friend Roxy in the building. Rock the Scrubs. Roxy says, great Sunday afternoon, Tech Coach Rob and the chat. Good afternoon to you as well, Roxy. Rock the Scrubs, Roxy. We have my guy Magnetar in the building. Salute to you as well, Magnetar. Always happy to see you here. And we have my best friend in the building.
We just become best friends. Yep.
He says he sneezed and it's, oh my nose. Well, God bless.
What's this?
I'm gonna get a big word.
It's only money.
I'm gonna get a big word. Okay, all right. I will see it in a second. I'm afraid. I am afraid of. I don't know what to make of this. Oh, no. Ooh, no big word. No big word. Okay. I was scared for a second there. All right. Let's see. And Mitch says it just gets to a point. I know, Mitch. I know. See, Roxy doesn't know which point it gets to, but I know what the point. The point, Roxy, is it gets to, I'll answer for you, Roxy. The point that it gets to is that where Mitch is like, you know what? This guy is so awesome. I just can't help it anymore. I just have to let everybody know that I truly appreciate and admire Tech Coach Ralph for all of the hard work that he does in and day out. So you know what, Mitch? Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Mitch.
I appreciate you.
We have Varesh Patel in the building, and Varesh says, hi, start with what is K8, why K8, why not other tools than K8? Well, I will be more than happy to answer that question. So the reason that we are working with Kubernetes is because it is in the course. So we're taking a course on Udemy about learning DevOps. And I know some DevOps stuff, but I've never worked with Kubernetes before. And the reason that we are using Kubernetes as a tool is because it is one of the most popular tools, and there's a lot there, and that's part of the course. So that's the reason that we are starting with that, and we have been fighting with it because to me it is important. It is absolutely essential that we learn Kubernetes if we want, because a lot of these other tools, they're based on how Kubernetes work. But we're going to be getting into Ansible. We're going to be getting into Packer. We've already used Terraform. Actually, If you were here a few weeks ago, I used Terraform so that I can quickly spin up the infrastructure for on Google Cloud, because it takes like 10 minutes to spin up. So I'm like, all right, before the show starts, I go ahead and I do the Terraform apply, and then that spins up. So that is why we're actually currently on Kubernetes right now. I don't know what other tools that are comparable to Kubernetes, but it is in the process. All right. Let's see. Mitch says, Roxy, don't start with me. It says, Varesh Patel says, Google AI Studio is awesome. That is awesome. I actually had to go into Google AI Studio to sign up to get a Gemini API key for our large language model course. So that's what we do on Monday and Wednesday mornings. And once I clear up some more time, I'm probably going to take on Fridays. We'll see. We will see about that. All right. And Mitch says, shout out to Mitch. The spotlight is on him. Shout out to my bestie. The spotlight is on you. Let's see. And Mitch says, somebody sent to Ralph, he on 1 today. Oh, Mitch, the show is just getting started. I am going to be on 10. I'm telling you. And Magnus says, we frown on scamming. Bruh. We don't frown on scanning, but we frown on scamming. I don't like scammers. And Michiko says, she did great talking about my tech barbarian. Yes, she did great. And if you guys are able to make it tonight for the Scrum night, for all the Patreon members, you will see she's going to be presenting all the information that she gathered. Our next steps, our stories are going to be working on. So you definitely want to be there as well. Let's see. And Mitch is Bologna. I don't know. Is that how you say it? I don't know. And let's see. And shout out to Roxy for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Roxy. You are so supportive. Thank you so much. You get a full round of applause. And Varesh says, as a daily routine, what type of stuff I need to practice about Kubernetes? Well, honestly, I would say, I don't know. See, I can't do it daily because I'm working on different things daily, and that's not my main job. But if you wanted to learn Kubernetes on a daily basis, I would say practice deploying different applications on a daily basis. Whether you find let's say you take a I don't know, some package, some Docker image, like what is the name of that one? There's a QA test case management software, right? So what if you were to deploy that using Kubernetes? That would give you some experience. But just deploy different things on Kubernetes. Set up the deployment, set up the load balancer, set up the service. You know, check out the logs, stuff like that. You just want to do stuff that are relevant. So that's basically it. All right. Let's see. It says, please say how you follow DevOps YouTube playlist. It's a little bit confusing. Please arrange properly. Well, I'll tell you this, right? The playlists, they just get added to themselves, but there are episode numbers and season numbers. So you might want to try to follow that. But for me to go and organize the playlist every single time, I'll do my best, but I cannot make any promises because do you see how many live streams I've, all right, Raresh, let me reason with you real quick. All right? I really appreciate you being here and subscribing, right? But do you see how many live shows that I have? I go live like 6 days a week. If I had to spend the time to organize every single playlist, I would go live once a week. So use the episode numbers to your best of your ability and go from there. I'm a 1.5 person show, all right? So just bear with me, all right? And you are very, very welcome, Roxy. And Ms. Freckles says, just take your time and learn what you can. Shout out to that. All right. I think it's time that we get started with the show. So, like I said, I already have the Kubernetes cluster up and running. Let me go ahead and start the first timer.
It's time to do.
So what we've done so far, we have tried deploying. Always running into like certain little things, right? So like when we tried to deploy the back end, I saw stuff about the front end which didn't make any sense because there should be no involvement with the front end. When we started up locally, I don't see any involvement with the front end. So we're gonna keep looking into that. But our cluster's already up. We're going to switch over to the screen where we are going to be working on. We're gonna start to let me expand that a little bit. And let's go here. All right. So we are in our GKE, our Kubernetes engine, and I should have my cluster running. Yep. So we have our cluster running. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick to trying to do it through the GUI interface for now, right? And we're going to call this the UDEC. Oh, actually, no, I have to go into Mongo first so I can open up the database. But while that's happening, I'm going to UDEC backend, right? And I'm going to say, I don't know what the label is for, but let's say UDEC, whatever. Do that. And while that's happening, I'm going into my Mongo. All right. So we have here. Actually, I don't need to. Okay. We're good. We're on this cluster. Let's go to next for container details. We don't need Nginx. We are going to be using techcoachRalph/udec-be. Is it? Actually, let me go check my Docker hub. Hub.docker.techcoachralph. Is that what it is? Hopefully. Nope. You fail. It would be this one. All right, so we need to do the AMD 64, and so techcoachralph UDEC-BE, and then the tag for AMD 64, right? I think that was part of the error that we got. So let's do AMD 64. All right. We also need our environment variables. Let me go finish logging into this thing over here. Environment variables. So the environment variables would be database connection according to my database connection. All right, so now I need to get so let me make the network access. And whenever I make my network access for my Mongo public, not that there's anything in this database there's nothing in the database, right? But just for security reasons, I always make it like I make it public for 6 hours because I know I'm going to be showing my password temporarily. And like right now, I haven't even changed the password because number one, it's only available for 6 hours, and number two, there's nothing in there that's important. And number three, once I get it to work, then I'll change it. And I'm not going to keep on using Kubernetes anyways because Kubernetes is expensive to use on Google Cloud Platform. Eventually, we'll end up deploying it. All right, so now I'm going to go to over here, get my connection information. Where I'll just move this to the other screen. All right. Get connection string. So in here, I should have this right here because that's the address of the database. And then the database password goes into Yeah, you can see this password. I don't care because I'm gonna like there's nothing in the database and it's gonna disconnect in a little bit and then and plus you can't even see the whole connection string anyways, right? But then I'm gonna change everything, right? So we have that and let me see so next to expose. So it's automatically gonna do the service exposure on port 80. Target port is gonna be 3000, I believe, because that's what we did the other day. Do I want it on port 80 though? I don't want it on port 80 for my API. What port do I want it on? Because if I have that on port 80, then I don't think I'll be able to get the other. So I'm gonna do it on port 80. I'll put it on port. Let's go 5050, right? I'm gonna put it on port 5050. And let me see if I do this. So I only need one. I'm put on port 5050, and I should be able to connect to the database that way, all right? Now I'm gonna and I say the service type is a load balancer. I probably don't. So if eventually I might not need it as a load balancer. I probably just have it as a cluster IP if we do everything through the UI. But for the time being, I'm just gonna leave it at a load balancer so I can make sure I can actually connect to it, and we'll see what happens. All right, we will see what happens. Let's click deploy. And even if we don't have this working entirely, I can still get the front end running, but the front end is not going to be as cool, right? And I know the front end kind of requires well, I can put a fake API key for OpenAI out there. But yeah, I think that is, and then one thing I like eventually at some point, I do want to make this public. And what I would do is, make the customize your experience workflow where you can pass in your own job descriptions or job titles, and you get how that economic indicator is relevant to that role by like under a Patreon authentication. So only my Patreon members can actually be able to use that feature. I know Patreon has OAuth, so I should be able to do that. But we'll see how that all goes. All right. So this is almost done. Let's see if it actually deploys though, because I don't know. The logs are kind of weird for me. Let's see. Looks like there's a pizza party going on in the chat. All I know, after competition, I'm gonna go and get me a Brazilian pizza. That's all. All right, so let's see what we got going on. Let's go to let's go back over here. So let's take a look at. So it says everything is up and running, right? Let's go to. It claims that our backend is up and running. All right. So let's see if that's actually the case. All right. Because you know me, I have serious trust issues. Right. I have serious trust issues. Right. Because we've been fighting with this I think one of the mistakes I did make last week was saying it was on port 3500 to map to when it should have been port 3000. All right. But let's go ahead and let's see what is. So this is our public IP, right? Let me see if I go to here. Oh my God! Look at that. Look at that. Hello, Tech Coach Ralph and friends. Hello, hello, hello. How are we? They didn't believe in us.
They ain't believe in us.
They did not believe in us. All right. But we're here. We've made it. We've made it. We have made it. You know what? We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. All right. So now I'm going to take that and I'm going to open up our Talend API tool, and I'm going to just put that in here, right? And let's see if we get actual response this time, because last time we got nothing. They said no soup for you. And let's go to, We've got data. We have got the data. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? We are running on Kubernetes. We're running on Kubernetes on Google's cloud, Google Kubernetes Engine. We have a cluster up for our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. Where's Trebek at this time? We have that up and running. We're using the IP address for our Kubernetes, and on port 5050 we have this right here, right? We have this right here, all this, right? So I wish there was another one I could add. Let me add a test one real quick, right? Let's add a test one real quick. So I'm gonna copy this right here, and I'm gonna go to a post request. This is for the quotes. Let me see if I can find a API. And while I'm doing this, right? While I'm doing this, I just hope that I hope that you understand that everything that you see here, we have built it ourselves, right? We have built it ourselves. So we built the application. We started Mitch was here from day one when I started the show for the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, because I said that, or not for the men lie, women lie numbers manipulation that we have Saturday mornings at 9:15ish a.m. We went for almost 3 hours yesterday because we were having so much fun, right? But what happens is, we're just using a Google Doc to look up this information. And I said, you know what? I don't like how this is going. And I said, let's build out an application. So we built the application over a few months last year on Thursday nights. And now we're deploying, and now we're learning DevOps. Now, well, let's use what we've built in order to deploy it, right? So to learn the stuff. So everything is connected with one another. Okay. So now let's try to add a new one. Let's say, I'm just going to add, we'll delete it afterwards, but let's say this is test on Google Kubernetes Engine, right? And I'll leave the rest the same. Okay. And we're going to do a send. Actually, no, I need to put the location, right? Let's do a send. All right. So now if I do a get again, I could save that. It doesn't matter to save that. Let's go over here, do a get, continue. And I do a get. I should hopefully have, there it goes. Look at that. The one I just added, right? Test on Google Kubernetes Engine, blah, 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 blah. All right. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. See, they doubted us.
They ain't believing us.
They doubted us, but look at where we're at now. Look at where we are at now. Going straight to the moon. Straight to the moon. So let's go to. So now that our API is deployed, now we can work on getting our front end deployed. All right. So I'm gonna go back over here. We're gonna go back over here. So now we are at, so we have our API working, right? I do need to check on the back end to see if we have our front end. See, our front end only has the latest. So we need to do the AMD, AMD 64 build for it as well. So with that being said, we're going to transition over to, let's go to here. So I'm going to switch the screen so that we can build which I'm gonna have to, I always have to look this up because I don't remember it, right? Because I don't remember this stuff. So I need to see Docker build command with architecture, arc, AMD 64. Because it probably won't work if I put it on the other one. So I just need to. So so this is the code, platform Linux / AMD 64. So with that being said, we're gonna switch over to over here, and we're gonna say Docker build, and we're going to say -- platform Linux / AMD 64. We're going to say -t for the tag, and we're going to say tech coach Ralph / UDEC -FE for front end, and then colon, and we're going to say AMD 64, right? And dot to say whatever's there, right? So now we're going to build our front end. Is that it? That can't be it. Something's not right. That something's not right. LS. Why was it so quickly? That can't be right. Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. Docker file. This looks good. See docker ignore node modules, which makes sense. This doesn't transferring. Try that one more time. Docker build platform image tag. That's all right. So let me open up a terminal, because that doesn't look right. So let's do Docker images, and the very first one. So so I do have one of these. Okay, so that's why I didn't need to build, because I already have one. Okay, so now we're going to do a clear Docker push tech coach Ralph / UDEC -FE colon AMD 64. And now that's going to push it up over to our Docker repository. All right, so it's pushed up to our Docker repository. So now if we go to the other screen and we go to here and we refresh this, we should have one for our AMD 64, which we should be able to use that to be able to make our build. Who told me? I was thinking about something else. Somebody told me that Metasploitable is available. No, is it Metasploitable? I think it was. I think they said Metasploitable is available with a Docker image. I was like, what? Why didn't I know that? Maybe I'll look at that during some point. All right, so we have that. We have that pushed up. So now, if we we still have a lot of more work to do, because although we have this here, we still want it to work on. We still want the image to be on Google, on Google's repository as well, right? But for now, our goal is to get it to work, and then we make it better. So this one's going to be called UDEC-FE for the front end. And I'll just call it UDEC-FE again. And next container details. And we're going to do tech coach Ralph / UDEC-FE colon, and then AMD 64. Environment variable. Let me see.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
We were so close to getting to the environment variable, but guess what? Guess what? We are going to honor our break today. So we are going to actually go to break. We're going to go to break. Let's go to full screen. And we are now on break. I'm going to check the chat, and then we're going to get to our first break time topic, which might be just a little bit feisty. And, you know, some people might not like it, but guess what? It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, a lot of times we'll get there when we get there, all right? What just happened over here? Let me see. All right. So let me check the chat and then we will continue on. All right. Let me see what we got in the building. Let me see how far back I am. I have my besties. It is. I should reprimand Mitch for spamming the chat, but he's my best friend. I can't do it. All right. So, and Miss Freckles says, I wish I could be spoiled too. Well, Miss Freckles, you probably. All right, I'm going to be honest with you, Miss Freckles. I'm going to be honest with you. You probably could be spoiled. I'm just saying, Miss Freckles. You probably could be spoiled. Varesh says, how much Terraform and K8's knowledge required to get a high-paying DevOps job? A lot. You're gonna like, and here's the thing, right? To get that knowledge, it's gonna take time, and you have to start at the bottom. You know, start at the bottom. A lot of people, they try to jump the gun, but you got to start at the bottom a lot of times. But you need to, because knowing Terraform is one thing, but I'm gonna break it down to you like this, right? Terraform means absolutely nothing. Like, learning Terraform means absolutely nothing if you don't know AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud Platform, right? Because the only thing that Kubernetes allows you to do is automate to write infrastructure as code for what you'd be doing manually on those platforms. So when we were learning Terraform last year, I ended up learning a lot about AWS and the different services that they offer by actually doing a real project. So what I'm saying is, like, you are not even doing a real project, by actually building a real application that we deployed, right? Which is available now. It should be available now. Let me double check to make sure it's still there. Haven't looked at it in a while, to be honest with you. It's still there. Awesome. It's still there. All right, cool. And we used Terraform to deploy the application, but we also had to learn how AWS worked. And now we're learning a lot more about Kubernetes. And I'm like, as we finish this up, I'm gonna see if I can use our Terraform to write the infrastructure as code for our deployment. All right. So I'm gonna say, to get a high paying job, you're gonna need a lot. To get a decent paying job, you're gonna need a little bit, but you're also need to be very, very competitive with everybody who is also going for that same job as you. All right. Miss Freckles says Google is really good to get a baseline on that. Awesome. What else? Mitch is spamming my chat with saying leak. And Roxy says pizza tonight at Mitch's house. Wow. What type of pizza? Maggie says pizza's on Mitch now. Dope. I will be there. Let him know. It says pizza at my house. Who is paying? What? You're not. I thought you were paying for it. And Miss Freckles says that Mitch is paying for it. It says pizza on Mitch. We love it. Mitch is paying. Pizza making Mitch. I want veggie, please, with jalapeno. Hold on 1 second here. Veggies with jalapenos too. What type of veggies on a pizza? What type? Let's put a name to those veggies, Miss Freckles. Let's put a name to those veggies. What type of veggies are we putting on a pizza? Because you could say mushrooms, or you could say cabbage. I see what you're saying, Mitch. It could be mushrooms. If it's mushrooms, I'm good with it, right? If it's like a cabbage or something like that, I don't know about that. So that's why it's for me. Roxy, do not give anyone a dime, all right? Don't give anybody a dime. Roxy says, stuffed crust Hawaiian pizza for her. Like I said, I want me some Brazilian pizza. If you guys have never had Brazilian pizza, it is absolutely amazing, all right? Let's see. Whoa. 100 bomb for some pizza. My goodness. That's what I said. That's what I said, bitch. Somebody got that money.
Money.
And Rock says though, keep the change. Buy Freckles some roses. Aw. That's so sweet. That is so. See, Rock's be trying to get me all sentimental on the stream and stuff like that. It ain't gonna happen. It is not going to happen. Rich says, I'll just get flowers from somebody's yard. Oh my goodness. Terrible. And Freckles says, great job, TCR. Thank you so much, Miss Freckles. Let's see. Mitch was here. Mitch has been here from a long time ago. I went back on Saturday, and I think it was Saturday, and I found my first time I defeated Mitch, and it was a defeat. So, because Mitch is a veteran, he is a veteran. And he says, is Mitch the feds? Quite possibly. Let's see. He says, not yet. He will be though, right? I just found out one of my basketball buddies. He works for he's a fed, and he said he sends in his 5 accomplishments very promptly. He's like, 5 accomplishments. Here you go. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Sounds scary. Here we go. Where are we going? We got J-Lo on the track. Video Productions in the building. Because I'm a silent supporter today, but I wanted to tap in. I'm working on editing some videos at the moment. J-Lo on the track. Have a great day. Look, it's gonna be fire. I am just happy to have the opportunity to just be on in the background while you work on your amazing videos. I can't wait to see the amazing highlights that are gonna be coming out. You guys go check out J-Lo on the track. Let me see if I can do this. Give me a second. I didn't do this last time, but I need to do this time. Let me see if I can do this for my guy J-Lo on the track. Let me see. I'm gonna go like this. J-Lo on the track. You need to get a channel tag as well. But you guys go check out J-Lo on the track. Boom. There you go. You guys check out J-Lo on the track. Amazing content. And if you don't have one yet, J-Lo on the track, set up your YouTube handle so that it's a lot easier for people to be able to get to your channel. Let's see what else we got. And Mr. says all the veggies except broccoli and never cabbage. No, thank you. Nope, Miss Freckles. Vegetables. Not all vegetables on a pizza. Nope.
Do not come.
Let's see. And Magnus says, stop it. Stop what? Stop what? He told me he promptly filled it out. I'm just saying. And I'm pretty sure he works for the DOD, but he's like, oh, I got it. Boop, boop, boop. Set, gone. And we're good to go. We are good to go. All right. Let's get to our first break time discussion. All right. So, let me go ahead and put this up real quick. Some people might not like it. You might not like it, but it says keeping the same energy. So let me put up 5 minutes so we can get back to work. So yesterday on stream, Ferris popped in for a quick second trying to cause some havoc, right? And he said at the end, oh, why don't you guys keep the same energy for whatever he was talking about? And every time, and this is not directly related to what he was talking about, because guess what? Honestly, whatever he wanted me to keep the same energy on, I didn't care, right? And that's the point for this. What I want to talk about, keeping the same energy, right? For me, when people say, "Oh, keep that same energy when X, Y, and Z. I'm like, but what if I don't care about X, Y, and Z? So I don't have the same energy for X, Y, and Z because I don't care. I have the energy for the things that I care about. And guess what? If you don't care about what I have the same energy for, then so be it. Right? But every time I hear everyone say, oh, just keep that same energy when this thing is doing that thing and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, well, what if I don't care about it? Why? Like, I have energy for the things that I care about. The same way that you have energy for the things that you care about. So, if you wanted, like, what we could do is you, whoever has that energy that wants to be kept, can keep that same energy on whatever it is that you do. And you can, Ferris used to live stream, right? He used to be Feisty Ferris after dark, right? Mitch, you remember how you used to hang out on Ferris's streams, right? And then he stopped, right? But here, I keep the energy that I want to keep, right? And this has nothing to do with Ferris. I'm just saying, in general, when people say keep that same energy, I'm like, no, I ain't keeping no same energy for stuff that you care about. I talk about what I care about. And now, if you wanted me to talk about something that you care about, and I actually tend to care about it, then I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. But I focus on things that I believe affect me and my family and possibly my friends. And there's some things that might affect my friends that I don't care about to talk about because maybe I don't care. I'm like, okay, that's their problem, right? So for me, I'm like, man, I don't like. And this could be for anything. Like, anytime people say, "Oh, keep the same energy," right? I'm like, no, like, because I don't have that energy. Like, I don't. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions, beliefs, etc. Right? What you are not entitled to, and keep this in mind, what you're not entitled to is for other people to care about what you care about. The way that I move, right? I never, ever expect anyone to care about me. Simple as that. If people do, great, nice. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
But I never go into any situation expecting somebody to give two flying about me, right? Not even from my parents, my relatives. I have family members that I don't talk to. And when I say I mean like close family members that close in like blood, whatever that's worth. But I don't talk to them because I don't keep their same energy. That's why. They might want me to care about the things that they care about. I'm like, I don't care. I don't. You know, like one of my favorite quotes in the book says, what do you think about me? I don't think about you. I don't think about you. I don't think about the things that you care about. If we align on something, great. If not, then so be it. So when people say keep that same energy, I'd be like, no, you keep that same energy. You like, we can have a conversation if you want to make a case on why I should care about it. I'll be more than happy to listen and have a conversation about it. But don't expect me to just care about the thing that you care about, because in life, and one of the hardest things for many people to learn is that nobody has to care about you. And for me, like, I'll even go as far as this, right? I got a kid. I don't expect anybody to care about my kid. Oh, like, oh, that's so cute. I don't expect anybody to care about him. I don't expect anybody to do anything for him. The only people who are required to do anything for my kid is me.
Back to work. Chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work.
The only people who are required to do anything for my kid is me and my wife. That's it. That is it. As much as I appreciate what his grandparents do and stuff like that, they are not required to do it at all. Right? So now if I feel that way about my own family, right? Then why would you expect me to care about the things that you care about? Like, that's just how I see it. That is just how I see it. Let me check what's going on with this stream because it's saying that's not getting any data. Let me see what's going on. Am I getting canceled? Let's see what's going on. All right, let me see. Give me a second here. Make sure we're still up and running. Don't want it to get cut off. But that's all that I want to share. That is all that I want to share. Keeping that same energy. I don't have to keep the same energy as anyone. You guys have what you guys care about. I have what I care about. And we just go from there. And if what we care about seem to line up in some way, then by all means, so be it. But if they do not, then it is what it is. All right. Let's see. Let me see what's going on over here. Why is YouTube not getting enough data? Should be good. All right, cool. Anyways, that is that. Hopefully this thing, let me see what is going on. Am I freezing? Let me see. All right, we're good. We are good to go. I thought I was freezing for a second there. Did I freeze for a second? Because YouTube said it wasn't getting enough data, but it looks like we're good. All right, so I'm gonna check the chat one more time, and then we're gonna get back to work. But I just had to like, I saw it yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna respond because it was time to go. I had something at 1, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pinpoint it today. That whole keep that same energy. Look, nobody cares about. All right. So anyways, let's go ahead and let me check the chat, and then we are going to continue. Let's see. Roxy says already subscribed to JLo. Thank you, Roxy. You guys, please do me a favor. He does some amazing highlights. I think they're high school. They're high school, right? JLo's busy, but I think they're high school, maybe some college, but very, very good work. I love it. Ms. Freckles says, so everyone is drinking Haterade today. Never, Ms. Freckles. Oh, we love you. And Mrs. Feisty Ferris. Roxy says 100. And Mitch says, wow, shots. Ain't no shots fired. I'm just saying. For me, when people say keep that same energy, I just laugh. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, I don't care. Let's see. Which is who catching them straight? Who catching? Nobody. There's no strays flying. I'm just saying, look, I keep the energy that I want to keep. People keep the energy that they want to keep. And that's why I stay on my porch, Mitch. I stay on my porch because I'm just going to be chilling. I'm going to be doing what I do. And those who want to hang out with me, great. And if you want me to, like, we can have a discussion. But no one is going to tell me what energy I need to keep, right? I keep the energy that I want to keep, and you can keep the energy that you want to keep, right? And we just meet in the middle. And you can compromise. All right? So shout out to Presidents of Listening. Learn to compromise. All right. What else we got? Mitch says, I want people to care about me. Oh, that is so sweet, Mitch. Aww. I honestly, like, I couldn't care less if somebody cared about me or not. Like, I mean, if you care about me, thank you. But if you don't, then I won't even know about it because I don't go chasing people to care about me. Let's put it like that, right? And it says, Mitch, do you want people to care about you? He does, Miss Freckles. Aww. That is so sweet. Aw. Miss Freckles says, I'm with Tech Coach Ralph. Thank you, Miss Freckles. Actually, it was a convo in general between me and the wealth building journey. It had to do with people pretty much applauding the unlawful firings. I said, okay, it was if a war breaks out. I wasn't talking. I wasn't talking about that at all, because you were talking to me. So I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was talking about what I was mainly going with Ferris's last statement at the end about that was directed to me. Keep that same energy for this. I'm like, no, but Magnet, if you had told me to keep the same energy, I would have said the same thing. I don't have to keep the same energy as anybody else. All right. But I didn't even. I skipped over everything you're talking about with the wealth building journey because I was like, I'm not gonna read every single one of those. And Mrs. Y'all are just evil. What? I've seen evil, Mitch. I've seen evil, and this is not it. All right. Let's see. Mitch is max are people. People happy. Other people losing their jobs is insane. I don't see it that way, but okay. I honestly don't see. I don't see it as people happy. I'm not even gonna get into that. That's not the show for this. Maybe I'll talk about it Saturday morning, but I don't see. Anyways, basically, if the trolls or their loved ones get drafted and have you and what have you, they have their uncle Donnie and Ellie Elon to thank for that. Okay. Says society loves laughing at people until it's dumb. This is going to be a perfect segue for our next break. It says, isn't it good to focus on things that you can contribute to and control? 100% respectful. It says, let's see. And it says, that's why I'm for the people. And Mitch, you being for the people, always have you coming back in 2 weeks like, oh my God, you were right. And then you go away and you're like, oh, but I love the people. And then you come back like, oh yeah, those people, they bit me again. They bit me again. And that's why I always tell y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful where you are sharing that energy, right? Be careful where you share energy, because a lot of those people you share your energy with, they will come back and they'll do a number on you. They'll do a number on you, all right? Let's see. We got my guy, the Wealth Building Journey, in the building. What's up, the Wealth Building Journey? Ferris is little bro, though. You know, he just... I don't take Ferris seriously. It says, stopping for a minute. Got a birthday Zoom for the family. That is awesome. And happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. And there we have it. All right, cool. Guess what? It is time for the next segment of the show. Take care of the Wealth Building Journey. Take care, CJ. And awesome job last night, by the way. All right, so let's get into our next 20-minute segment.
Let's go!
All right, so now we are over here. And we have our tech coach Ralph. So right now what we're doing is we are deploying our front end of our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. We have the image that I pushed up, right? We can see it over here. And honestly, I didn't want to use my Docker Hub repository for this, but being that we were trying to get it to work first, I'm all right. I'll put it up to Docker Hub. It's open right now, but there's nothing proprietary. There's nothing serious about it, right? It's just something that I put together, right? So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put in my API key. So we need to put this right here. And what I'm going to do is, there's no possible way you're going to see the whole API key. So I'm just going to copy the beginning in there. And I'm going to go like this because you're not going to be able to see it anyways. So I'm just going to go like that. And we're going to go to... Is there any other environment variables I need in here? I don't think so. We need the API URL. So we're going to copy this API URL. Add in another environment variable. And I'm going to put in the API URL, which is going to be this right here. And I'm going to put that right there, right? So I don't think I need the slash, right? So there we go. So we have our API key, and we have and because this is in React, we have to add this preface or this prefix of React app, and we have all that. And now we're gonna go down here, we're gonna say expose deployment as a new service, 80. We're gonna put that to port 3000 as well. Also be the load balancer so we can be able to access it. And we're going to say, give it a try here. We're going to say deploy. Let's see. All right. So it's using the existing cluster, creating a workload, waiting for the pods. Let's see. So it's deploying cluster create. So we already got the cluster created. Now we're just waiting for the front end to deploy. And if this works, great, cool. We did it via the GUI interface. Guess what I'm gonna do? Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wipe the whole entire thing out and do it through the command line interface. Because you're not always gonna have a GUI available for you. And I'd rather use the code to be able to. I'd rather use the terminal to be able to deploy it than use the graphical user interface. And then I'd rather use what do you call it? Terraform to get it to work, right? So many different ways that we can get this stuff to work. Waiting for service to be ready. So we have the deployment created, we have the pods ready, we have the service being deployed. Service is ready. All right, let's see what else do we got. Let's see. So any errors? Oh, it looks like we're up. And it's on a different IP. That's interesting. I thought it would be on the same IP as the. So if it's on a different IP, does that mean that? I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. Because I might have been able to just put the API in. I don't know. I'm not sure. So let's go over to the moment of truth, y'all. The moment of truth. Let's see if this is going to load. What? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Do we actually have our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data running on Google Cloud with Kubernetes? Round of applause. A round of applause. It was a long time coming. All right. We worked at it and we finally got it to work on Google Kubernetes Engine. It is running. So let's do a search for, let's see if I do Google. Look at that. The one that we just added, test on Google Kubernetes Engine. And I just have some basic data in there, customize your experience, yada, 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 right? Let's go over here. Let's search for, and the only reason I won't keep it on Kubernetes, because Kubernetes is super expensive and I'll probably end up deploying it on, what's the name of that other one? What is the name of the other one? On the Google, the one that does the Google deploy, Google containers, Google Deploy, I guess it's called, Google Cloud Deploy. But yeah, so that's basically it, right? So we have that. Let's look for something else. What did we cover yesterday? We covered the. Do I have the? Yeah, it even has the. This is perfect. This is perfect. And do me a favor, uncross your hands when you're talking to us, all right? Sorry. I didn't mean to go there. That was yesterday's energy. The Kubernetes is today's energy, all right? I am such a menace. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person. I am a terrible person. Evil little man. All right. So let's look for consumer confidence. Look at that. This is so beautiful. That's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Look at that. We did it. We did it, Joe. So let's see if our AI is working, right? Because let's make sure our key went through. Let's see this is for consumer confidence. I'm gonna humor Magnetar, right? I'm gonna humor Magnetar. Fair enough. I have a question for you, Magnetar, during break, but let's go to a Congress person. That's a congressman who is a veteran. Just to humor Magnetar. So, how does the consumer confidence survey affect a congressman who is a veteran? Let's say our congressman has a background in military and is now serving in Congress. Here's how consumer confidence can influence his decisions. Economic policies. If the survey shows that consumer confidence is low, it might indicate that people are worried about job security. As a veteran, the congressman might advocate for policies that support job creation, especially for veterans. He could push for funding for veteran employment programs based on this data, veterans benefits, yada. So basically, and that's why I'm going to take the position I'm going to take. Right, but this is working. Right, this is working. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of our metrics that we have here. Let's see. So it's like a higher level overview. We have 5 pods. We don't need 5 pods for this, right? We don't need 5 pods for this, but we have 5 pods, 1 pod for the back end, 5 pods for the front end. It's probably gonna drop as time goes on. I don't know why it has 5 though. Let's see. So we're looking at our front end right now. So here's what I wonder, right? Here's what I wonder. If I was to go to this URL, right? And I was to go to, so I'm taking the IP of the front end and I go 50/50. Would I get to the, see, I'm not going to get to the, I won't get to the, interesting. So what I was trying to do is see if they're on the same cluster, right? They're on the same cluster, but they have different IP addresses. So I didn't know that. I didn't know it worked that way. Let's see. We're just learning a little bit about this now. So I thought if they're on the same cluster, they would share the same IP address, but apparently they don't. Let's see. Network, IP utilization. So view IP utilization metrics for VPC native clusters. Data is network based. Data is based on network analyzer. Recommender is a Google Cloud service that lets you view IP address utilization. Let's see. Traffic flow. See what's under workloads. So you see how I said it's going to start to drop based on the amount of traffic that it's going to get. It'll go up and down. It'll scale as necessary. So when this first started, it was 3 pods, right? And now it is 1 pod because it doesn't get much traffic. It's not going to get any traffic. But just for the cost of Kubernetes, though, we can't keep this up and running. It would be cool to leave it up and running. So here's a project idea, right? Here's a project idea. You could, let's say you have an interview coming up, right? You could deploy a project on Kubernetes, and let's say you use Terraform to be able to get it up there and get it down. You could just you could say, all right, here's an example of me doing DevOps. I use Terraform to deploy this application, and you don't have to keep it up all the time, but you just keep it up during the time that you need to use it, because after this show is done, I'm going to tear it down, and then we're going to see, okay, how can we start to implement this via Terraform? I'm gonna actually Google it right now. I'm gonna Google it right now as we speak. Kubernetes deploy Terraform. And I'm going to say GKE. So provision a GKE cluster. We did that already. Manage Kubernetes deployment. Let me see. Provision GKE resources with Terraform. So let's see how this has to talk about, right? So we have the Google Container Cluster, hub namespace. So if we go back and we look for Kubernetes deployment, right? And we see so a deployment ensures a specified number of pods replicas are running at one time. In other words, the deployment makes sure that the pod or homogeneous set of pods are always up and available. If there are too many pods, it will kill some. If there are too few, the deployment would start more. Makes sense. So yeah, once we get there, we'll actually be able to do the deployment that way using Terraform. I don't see image full secrets. Image right here. So string Docker image. All right, so we got that. What I want to do, I'm gonna do a couple of things. There's a lot of things I want to do, right? But I think our next step is going to be to go into Kubernetes, and we're gonna get rid of these. We're gonna get rid of these. Actually, no, I'm not gonna get rid of it, right? Because it's working. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go to. Let me see. Do I have the? I think I have it locally here. So let me see if I can do this, right? Let's go to clear here. So let's go to this screen over here. What I want to do is, all right. So what I want to do is, let me see, gcloud. All right, so we have gcloud. It's cool how on gcloud they have like all the different things that you can use, AI and machine learning. So all this stuff for gcloud. We have platform and ecosystems. It's pretty cool, right? So all right, so what I want to do is I want to connect to the Google Kubernetes Engine via the command line prompt. I don't want to use the Google's command line prompt, right? So I'm gonna search for let's go over here to this quick start, right? We've used this before. And I'm going to try to do this through our terminal, though. So we already have our cluster created. So now we need to go with this right here, right? So, and you've seen this before, but what I'm going to do, just so we can keep it on the same screen, I'm going to go over to okay, so now I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to use this over here. So let's say we do gcloud container cluster. No, we don't need the create cluster. We need this one, clusters get credentials. And the reason that I want to use my own terminal because I can use the tab complete, get credentials, and that's going to be UDEC dash, or what is it, GKE? Make sure. UDEC dash GKE dash clusters. So I want to do this not locally, but I want to do it from my terminal connecting to the Google Cloud Platform, right? And then we're going to do location US East 1, right? So this should allow us to connect to our cluster. It's critical action required. GKE Cloud plugin, which is needed for continued use of kubectl, was not found or executable. Install GKE Cloud by follow. All right, so how do we do this? So while that's, I'm gonna do this G Cloud component update. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to go to that URL that they were talking about on this other screen. So it says to install required plugins, kubectl and other Kubernetes clients require an authentication plugin, which uses the client Go credentials plugin framework to provide authentication tokens. You must install this plugin to use kubectl. Before you begin, check to see if this plugin is already installed. So we're going to go here, go back over here. I don't think it's installed, but even if it was, I think we can still do the same command over again. So G Cloud components install GKE G Cloud auth plugin. Yes. All right, we got that in there, and we're going to say so now it says to check the version number. So GKE G Cloud auth plugin equals, or not equal, but the flag. So we're at Kubernetes 1.30. All right. Now it says update
Lunch break.
Well, guess what? It is time for break. And we were doing great here. I think it's a good time to take a break because next up we're going to configure our terminal to be able to use kubectl inside of our Google Cloud environment, and we're going to see how that goes. All right, but let's get to break. All right, let me check the chat, and then we will get to our next topic, which is going to be, it's not going to be as bad as the first one, right? It's not going to be as bad, but it is a little bit not controversial, but you'll see when we get there. Let me see. So Magner says, since freedom ain't free, loyalty is needed. If you won't even be loyal to your vets, then that's a whole other problem. Going back to why I said I'd rather all politicians be vets. I'll say this, Magnetar. I think politicians being vets is a great thing. All politicians being vets, I disagree, because guess what? Just even based on the AI thing that I did, everything that they said, because that particular congressperson was a vet, came back to vets. And I think that not everything can and should be centered around vets. I think there's many different aspects, and by centering everything around vets, then what about everybody else who aren't vets? You know, so that's why. So I'm like, I have no problem with vets being in any type of office, but only vets? I don't think so. That's actually a cool website name though. Onlyvets.com. How about that? Onlyvets.com. Yeah, I don't. I think that, and also I also think that people get to make the choices that they want to make, and that's why people vote, right? And sometimes you make a good choice, or I wouldn't say a good choice. Sometimes, because good is in the eye of the beholder, right? So sometimes that people will say, and it's always about 50-50, right? Half the people think it's a good choice, half the people think it's a bad choice. So that's how it goes. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's why I wouldn't say rather all politicians be vets. vets aren't the only people who exist, right? So different, like we always need additional perspectives, because you'll see it one way and somebody, I'll also put it like this, right? You as a federal employee, you see it one way, right? Me as a private sector employee and as a business person and all that type of stuff, all of my experiences are different from just being from different parts of the country, right? From where you're from where I'm from, your family background, my family background, your military experience, your federal employment experience, my non-military experience, my non-federal experience, but my private experience, we see things differently. But I think that's okay. And I think that's healthy discussion. So I have like, I just think that there's always room for agreement and disagreement on all that type of stuff. So, and I love it. I love it. I love the ability to have conversations about it. Let's see. We got Miss Freckles clapping it up in the building. Magnetar with the thumbs up and the muscle flex, those muscles. Let's see. And Roxy says, true tech coach Ross. Thank you so much, Roxy.
Let's get it.
All right. Next conversation for this break, which don't let the title, you have to before I'm going to put the title up, right? But before you see, like, just know I'm going somewhere here, right? Mitch is going to appreciate this. I'll say this. Mitch is going to appreciate what I'm going to talk about, right? So what this says is being a victim is expensive. It really is expensive, right? And why do I say that? What do you mean? Why are you so damn mean? That's what I just heard Roxy whisper into my ear, right? Why are you so damn mean, right? That's what I heard. She probably didn't say it, but that's what I heard, right? So what do I mean by being a victim is expensive? Okay, well, I see so many different times that people are going after like different career changes and all this type of stuff, right? Let me start the timer. But they're going into these different career stuff, and the fact that people want to do it fast is why people get, because this is how you end up in victimhood, right? I'm gonna this. I'm just gonna use this as an example, right? I'm gonna just use it as an example. What we had we had the question that Varesh Patel asked earlier, right? How much Terraform and K8's knowledge required to get a high-paying DevOps job, right? So for me, that's honestly, that's a bad question, because you can't quantify how much knowledge, right? The answer is a lot, right? To get a high-paying job in any industry, you need a lot of knowledge, right? But so the reason I say like being a victim is expensive is because when we go chasing these, how can I do this quickly? How can I get rich fast? How can I get a high-paying job with the least amount of work and effort? That's when you fall victimhood. Victimhood to who though? Victimhood to who? You fall victimhood to all those people who are just trying to take the opportunity to get your money at the end of the day, right? They will and I'm going to kind of cover this in tomorrow's video about the evolution of quality assurance, which it's honestly going to be the evolution of the software industry as a whole. But I'm going to focus on QA because there was a question I saw about that that we touched on one of our Q&A shows, right? But what I see, all the people. Should I say all? Yes, I'm going to say all. All the people who go down the path of some type of boot camp, especially in 2024 and 2025, they're victims. You're a victim. But do I feel sorry for you? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for you. But why do I say that you're a victim, right? Because so many people, and they even put it in the fine print on their websites. And Mitch, you were here. You were here when I would go over the numbers, right? In order for you to be eligible for a refund on some of these bootcamps websites, is that you have to do about 100 applications per week. 100 applications per week for the first 6 months. And then after you get past the first 6 months and you still haven't found one job, you probably got 2 interviews, right? Haven't found one job. Now they say, okay. Now you can reduce it to like 65 applications per week, right? But here's the problem. When we were doing the actual research, Mitch, I know you remember this, right? We were doing the actual research. The amount of applications they want you to put in do not equal to the amount of jobs that were out there. They did not equal to the amount of jobs that were out there. And I was like, and doing a general search, you're not going to find those jobs do not exist. And when I first started my channel, every single show, I would take a break. I say, all right, let's look for these manual QA jobs. Let's look for these manual QA jobs. And they don't exist. On a grand scheme of things, they don't exist, right? Now, you might find those jobs here and there. But then when you do find it, there's like 1,000 applicants for it. And then to put the cookie on top, right? They're like, but it absolutely has to be a remote job. I'm like, what? So now, and I really, see now I have to bring it back to yesterday, right? So now, and I had this conversation with somebody before, right? Where I said, are you not willing to work in office? Nope. And I said, well, you're not, it's going to be very unlikely for you going to find a job remote in this particular field. It'll happen. I'm like, how do you know? I just know. I'm like, okay, cool. Now what you end up being, and they tell you for, you're going to be making, I'll use QA, right? You're going to be making about $95,000 a year doing a manual testing job, but you got to pay us about $15,000 for this boot camp. I'm like, good Lord. And then, so you go, you pay the money because, it must be good because it's expensive. I don't know how that thinking works where because it costs a lot of money, that means it must be good.
Chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work.
It could just mean that people are willing to pay for it, right? Because look, if you are willing to pay for it, then charge as much as you can. And I don't blame the boot camps because guess what? Is it the person's fault they don't do enough research? Like, how much research do you need to do? Simple. Let me do a Google search. This boot camp's name. How many people got a job? And I'm pretty sure you'll find a lot of negative reviews. But people bite the bullet anyways. And then they end up with not the skills needed, which I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, but not the skills needed, not the experience needed, not the tools, not the tool set and the skill set needed. But now, and they give them a terrible resume and they say, all right, now just go out there and do it and come back with your 100 applications for jobs that don't exist. And we might consider giving you a refund. You're never, ever getting a refund, right? And that's why I say being a victim is expensive because you go and you spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of your hard-earned money thinking that you're going to get a benefit out of, because they said, you know what? You're making $60,000 a year now, right? Come and take this program, and you're going to end up starting off at $100,000 a year. And then when you go to apply for the jobs, your first offer is about for $10,000 less than you were making before. And you're like, I can't afford to do this. And that's why I'm always honest and realistic with these people, with the people that I come in contact with, because like, look, it's not going to be that way. It is not going to be that way. So you're starting over in this instance. Like when you're going into tech, coming from another field, you might be at the top of your field. Let's say you're capped at 60K in whatever you're doing now. But coming into tech, you might have to start at a lower 50, 55K. But what you can learn and the possibilities are endless. But there are no shortcuts in tech. And if they tell you that, oh, just pay us $20,000 and you're going to be working in 3 weeks, making $200,000 a year, and you believe them, then being a victim is very, very expensive for you because you just paid $20,000 and you are not going to get a job. Does that mean that zero people actually make it through? No, some people do make it through if they work really, 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 really hard and they go above and beyond. But for me, I would say out of 10,000 people who might graduate from the same boot camp, 5 to 10 of them actually are able to make it through in the top end of the timeline that they're given. If lucky. That's how I see it. I could be wrong, but that is how I see it. All right, let's wrap. I'm gonna leave it there. But being a victim, and it's not just for like career transitions, being a victim in almost any circumstance is really, really expensive, right? I'm just saying. You know what? I'm gonna hit you with one of these.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
All right, so let's wrap that one up, and we're gonna get over to the chat, and then we're gonna do our last segment of the show for today. All right. Let me go all the way back to where I was. Let's see. Roxy says 100. Miss Freckles says the victimhood is atrociously expensive. Tell them, Miss Freckles. Tell them. And I'm not like, there are people who are victims of like crime and stuff. But I'll say this, right? Even if you're the victim of a crime, it's still expensive for you, right? And I despise people who hurt and abuse other people. I hate them. I hate people who hurt and abuse other people, right? But even as the victim of a crime, whatever it is, and I think the worse the crime is, the more expensive it is on you. And that expense comes in the form of legal fees that you might have to pay. It comes in like therapy and stuff like that. It comes with just dealing with the stress of being a victim of whatever it is. So that's why I always say, do your best to protect yourself, to guard your hearts and all that type of stuff, because even if you're not at fault at all, it's still gonna have a heavy impact on you, your loved ones. And that's why I say just do the best that you can to protect yourself by any means necessary. Protect yourself. All right. And Mitch says definitely 100 per week. I'm telling you, we reviewed it. And it says, so boot camps are the new hustle. I will not say yes, but I will not say no. I just think that the structure of the boot camps, it is 100% to benefit the boot camp, and it is about 10% to benefit the students of the boot camp, right? Because they're teaching a lot of outdated information, stuff from like 10, 20 years ago, and it doesn't take you up to where you need to be right now to actually get the job the way that the market is right now. So that's how I see it. Mr. Chris says, I kept my option open for in-office or work from home. The company chose to go out of their way and give me fully remote. Only one on my team with that privilege, even over my management team. Because, Ms. Freckles, that just means that you are absolutely awesome. That's all. That just means you are great at your job and you do a great job. So that is awesome. I says, not sure if you remember me telling you about the one I was in a few years ago. I kind of remember that. But I don't remember all the details around it. And when I say boot camps, I just mean in general, right? There are some good ones, especially I think the local ones might be a little bit better than the online ones, just to be honest with you, right? I think the local ones where you actually go to a place and you work together, people there, it might be just a little bit better. I'm not saying much, but a little bit better it might be, all right? But as you can see, I am the number one advocate for boot camps, as you can clearly see. Ms. Freckles says, always keep an open mind. It says from what I read, the VA just ended the whole thing. I don't know the details about it. I don't remember the details about it, but you gotta be careful with that stuff. You gotta be careful. It says 10 to 20. Are you talking about the cost? Look, somebody told me the other day, right? And Magnetar, here's something for you, right? And for me, coming from the private, like just as a regular civilian, right? I was talking to somebody a while ago, and they said that, oh, they're about to jump in on a boot camp. I'm like, for I don't know if it was cybersecurity or if it was I think it was for Linux, right? And I was like, how much does the boot camp cost? And they said $20,000. I was like, what? $20,000 for this boot camp? And he's like, and this is what he said. He said, oh yeah, but it's okay because I'm not paying for it. I have what is it, the GI Bill or something? It says like pretty much the government is paying for it, the VA is paying for it, which means, right? And I'm like, so because the government is paying for it, they like it's these boot camp like there's no to me in my perspective, I'm like, there's no accountability on let's get the best price possible. And the person who's getting it paid for, they don't care because like they're not the ones paying for it. It's not coming out of their pocket, right? So for me, I'm like, I don't mind helping veterans and stuff like that with school and stuff like that. But the problem that I tend to have with it is that oh, it's just gonna be there's no is this a good product? What is the cost that's associated with it, right? So that's one thing that I remember where it's like, oh, like I don't care what the cost is because I'm not the one paying for it. I'm like, well, I care what the cost is. You know what I mean? So it says, oh, he said outdated info. It's not out. It's not. A lot of it is, right? It depends on the bootcamp as well. But like some bootcamps that I see, especially related to QA, their stuff is outdated. Where like you need that information, but that is just that is just a very, very preliminary part of it, and they end the bootcamp with that information, and it's like you are not going to be finding a job with what they've given you, right? So it's not up to date. So yeah, like when I say 10 years, like they're teaching you stuff from 10 years ago, but they're not teaching you stuff from like 2 years ago, which you need right now. Like for QA, how do I test stuff in this current environment? And they just don't prepare you, right? So that's what I'm referring to. Let me see. I thought I said, oh, we got Nigel says, wait, what? I don't know what Nigel is referring to because I just be yapping, like Mitch says. I just be yapping. And Mitch is outdated info 6 to 18 months nowadays. That's true. That's a good point as well. That is a good point. All right. Let me see. We have less than 15. We have 15 minutes to go. What I will do is I will how do we do this? I'm going to say, you know what? I think we're at a I'm gonna try one thing. So we're just gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna try one thing. I just want to see if my configuration is working, and if it is, next week we're gonna go and try to deploy the same exact thing on Google Cloud. But we're not gonna be using the GUI interface. We're gonna be using our command line interface. So I'll leave the timer running. I'm not gonna start a new timer for 20 minutes. We'll leave it as that, and we will go to. I'll spend like 5. I'm gonna put 5 minutes up, right? And I will do just to see if this command line thing is working locally from my terminal, and we'll go ahead. So I'm gonna put 5 minutes up and disregard the next question thing. That's just the timer that I have, and we will go over to this screen just so I can see if this is gonna be working, right? So now we need to do G-Cloud. I can just go up a few to G-Cloud. Container get credential, cluster get credentials, and we're good. So we're able to get our credentials. So if I do cube CTL deploy or get deployments, and we have our UDEC BE and we have our UDEC FE. So if we let's see if we compare that. If we compare that to what we have over here. Let's go here. And we go over here. We have, where is it? Where is app errors. Let's see. See overview maybe? No, not overview. Clusters, workloads. All right, so you remember how I said that if it's not getting much traffic, it'll get scaled down to one or to one pod for each. So that's basically what we have here. It's scaled down, and if we compare what we have here, compare it to what we have over here, we have so we have one, right? So we are good on that front. Let's see. Let's do a kube CTL get services. So we have our IP address for our load balancer, port 5050, and we have our this is for the actual website, or for the actual front end. Port 80 is how we connect to it. Everything is looking great. Everything's looking great. Let's do clear cube CTL get pods. We have one pod running for the back end and another pod running for the front end. And if we were to send a lot of traffic to it, we would it would, you know what? How can we get a lot of traffic to the site right now? I don't think let me see. I don't even know how much traffic we would need to do it. Because I want to see the pod scale up, right? Maybe we'll do that next week as well. We'll get it running on through the command line, and then we will get it to we'll get it to scale down to one pod. And you're right. I could just ping it, but in order to ping it though, it's not gonna make it scale up. Nightjade, because pinging it is just gonna send like one request. I want to do like a what is that tool called? JMeter, where I can say send it like 1,000 different requests, so that we can see the scaling of the pods start to go up and they be able to handle the traffic, because that's a big component of the Kubernetes. I just don't have JMeter, and we don't have enough time right now so that for us to do that. But I don't have I don't have JMeter on this computer. So what we will do, so I have it in my plans to be able to do like a load test on it so that we can see the scaling happen for the front end, because I think it's mainly the front end that's going to need it. If there was a lot of requests happening, then it would need more on the back. I don't think the back end really need to scale that much. Nmap could do it. I have to check that. Maybe Nmap could do it. I'm not, because we haven't actually gotten a chance to use Nmap yet. But I thought Nmap was to scan the ports. I just need a lot of requests to go to this one IP address, right? And I need a load. Honestly, I need a load test. I need a performance test. That's what we need to do. We need a performance test on this, so that we can see the scaling grow and shut down. I'm not familiar enough with Nmap to be able to say if it can do it or not do it. But I know JMeter, and actually something that Don built the other day, or not, he built like maybe 2 years ago. I'm talking about the other day. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it. It is github.com. So some people love to slide into other people's GitHub. So we're going to slide into my good friend Don's GitHub, copy left dev. And we're going to go to repositories. I think it's on this one. So this is my friend Don's repository. And let me see if he has the Ralph harness in here. Ralph. No, it's not in this one. Let me see. Nah, it's not that one. Maybe it's on the other one. Let me see. Nope. Maybe it's on. Oh, it's not on copyleft dev. It's on. What is the name of it? Oh, is it Chaos Camp? Let me see. Oh, what is it? Let me see if I can find it real quick, because it'll be really, really helpful to use this. Let me see. Let's see if I can find this real quick, because this will be very, very helpful. Oh, Chaos Dash Camp. All right, there you go. So let me move that over. So my friend Don, who is always working, he created, like, when did he create this? He created this September 2023. So I've known Don since September of 2023. So I told you, Don, although LinkedIn said that we were connected or whatever since January of last year, I've known you way before that. All right. So he created this rapid automated load performance to harness. We could probably use that using Go. And so I'm going to look into see if we can use this repository or this application in order to test the, so basically we'll do /Ralph, and then the URL, which is going to be our IP address, and then the type simple and iterations, like, I don't know, 50 or something like that, in order to get to get all that load happening. All right. So we will see, we'll try it. But with that being said, we are going to start wrapping it up for today. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. I'm excited. I love this. Seeing things work, seeing our Kubernetes cluster running with applications that we actually created, something that adds value to us. Really cool stuff. But yeah, so I will leave you with these final announcements. So we're going to be having our large language model show, our coffee and kata, tomorrow morning, like 7:45, 8 a.m. We're gonna do that for about an hour, working on continuing with our Google Gemini integration. I think it's pretty much integrated pretty well, actually. I did want to take a look at the Google Images thing, but I don't know if we're gonna do that tomorrow. I have to see what exactly we're gonna be doing tomorrow. Candid Conversations tomorrow at noon. I'm going to be talking about the evolution of QA, and I'll break down a little bit more, Magnetar, about why I said like things are about 10 to 20 years outdated, because a lot of things that I see being taught now about QA, we don't even ask those type of stuff in interview. Like, I don't know how other companies do it, but at least at my company, we don't even ask those type of stuff in interview questions. We're asking a totally different set of questions now in interviews, and we have totally different set of requirements as well. Like, we don't even talk about manual testing at my company. I mean, we talk about it, but not in interviews. We are very focused on a very specific set of skills and criteria, right? And then we have our tech music. We're going to be starting David Goggins' playlist at 4 a.m. on tech music for those who are early risers. We're going to start David Goggins at that time, so you need that, getting that motivation. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have our work music. I'm going to be creating some more playlists as well, different themes as well, for those who love jazz, for those who love classical. We might have like something like classical Tuesdays, jazz Wednesdays. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, you know, Roxy, you were there. They doubted, they laughed, but now look at us. We had the Fallen Down song be released yesterday morning. We have more music being created. We have more innovation, and that's why I love this AI stuff, and the possibilities are endless. So I always say, you guys are either going to complain, you're going to be a victim to technology, or you're going to jump on the ship and you're going to work and see how you can use that to your benefit. By Don sending me a link to an AI song that he created last year, we have taken it so far, and I'm with it. I'm here for it. And we're going to run it up. We are going to run it up. All right. Let's check the chat before we get out of here. Also, do me a favor on your way out. Like the video, share the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live. Take the traumatic brain injury survey for my cousin who is getting her material, like her equipment ready so that she can start producing content on this traumatic brain injury stuff. So help her gather some more information. She's also going to be looking for some guests as well at some point to talk about this type of stuff, all of that. All right. And if you haven't done so already, go to techcoachralph.dev, sign up for a Patreon account today, and connect your Discord to your Patreon account so you can get into the Team Tech Coach Ralph Patreon Discord, where we do different stuff. We had like Python help yesterday for those who are learning Python. We had a great session. Miss Freckles and Magnetar, I have a question for you because Miss Freckles and Magnetar, they were in the session. I have a question for you. We were a little bit on the struggle bus yesterday trying to get that one problem figured out. But when I put it into, like, I said, all right, let's just make this more practical, right? And I said, if you had the question was like, how do you, the problem we're trying to solve was, how do you swap variables, right? And I said, and I asked you guys, all right, so how would you do this in real life? Did at that point, did it just click like, oh, well, this is exactly how I do it? And then did that make a lot more sense figuring out the problem? And one thing that I do when I'm coaching, when I'm trying to help people like learn these new concepts is like, apply it to real life, apply it to real life, apply it to real life. Take it out of the contextualized aspect of just being so foreign and bring it to real life. Just bring whatever they're asking you to do, bring it to real life. How did you handle it in real life? And now that you know how to do it in real life, apply it to the code, right? So, but let me know, what did you guys think about, like, because we were trying to figure it out. I felt that I was explaining it and I was like just using words that didn't make any sense. And I said, all right, let's just stop it right now. Stop it. Let me see. All right, real world scenario. How would you do this? And from what I saw, as soon as we took it to the real world, you guys figured it out immediately, right? So let me know what you thought about that. And that's what I try to do, right? Let me see what else we got. Let's go through the chat real quick. Let's see. We were at right here. So Magnus says the Python course we're doing is outdated. I'm having a hard time matching what she is talking about. I think they update. I think they continue to update it. I think a problem that you're having, Magnetar, is you are. I'll just be straight up. I think that you are expecting a one-to-one match, and I think that you not getting that one-to-one match is what's holding you up. And I think you need to take your mindset out of.
Real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I think you need to take your mindset out of everything being perfectly coordinated for you, and that it's not going to be a one-to-one match, and that there's some things you're going to have to figure out, because if it's a one-to-one match, then they're just going to be holding your hand and you're not going to learn anything, right? So you got to take a step back from. There's nothing like, because she has a different computer, she has a different environment, everything is different. So you have to understand that it's not going to be one-to-one. It's a very, very close similarity. And so you're not going to get that one-to-one match. And there's been a lot of people who've gone through the course and they're figuring it out, right? So I don't think it's as outdated as you make it out to be. I think you're just looking for it to be perfect, and there's nothing in the world that's perfect, right? So, let's see. So Night Day said you could just ping it, and says, what about I'm not familiar with Nmap enough yet. It says, controlling the rate, the crucial aspect is using the max rate flag to set the desired packet sending rate, allows you to gradually increase the load. Okay, well, I guess we might be able to do it. So, and here's the cool thing, right? This coming Thursday, we might actually get to using Nmap, because we just started scanning. We just started the scanning. Oh my God, Nightjade. If you only knew the nightmare that we went through on this past Thursday. I was trying to install what do you call it? Metasploitable on a virtual machine, and I have a Mac M3 chip. When I went to install the virtual machine using VirtualBox, it kindly said it said respectfully
Do not come.
it said that I had an architecture issue because I'm trying to run a x86 architecture on a ARM architecture. I was like, okay, great. So we spent the show researching how to actually UTM came in handy because I was able to convert that virtual, whatever they call it, to something that would work with UTM. I'm actually going to be releasing a video on the steps to do that, but it was an absolute nightmare. Oh my God. But I got it to work and we are good to go. So hopefully we'll be able to get into Nmap this coming Thursday. All right. But thank you so much for the information. It says we use it so that we can test monitoring teams, see if they're paying attention or not. You guys are very, very sneaky. Let's see. It says that was the VTech program, the Vet Tech program that ended April 2024. Let's see what else we got. And Mitch says, hell yeah to the jazz. I'm gonna get it happening. It says, I want to bring some music to life. I keep having dreams. Hey, you guys know how to get in contact with me. If you guys have any music, like you got, all right. So we'll put it like this, right? We'll put it like this. Ms. Freckles says, oh, I wish you could have an electric violin. And guess what? Within less than 24 hours, not only do we have the electric violin, we also had Ms. Freckles playing the electric violin. Right? How about that? Roxy says, soft rock Fridays. You know what? Consider it done. Consider it done. We will have soft rock Fridays. We'll have you guys let me know. How do you guys want the playlist to go, right? What do you guys want on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, right? Let me know how you want it to go. And Mitch says, what is soft rock? You know what, Mitch? Guess what? That is a great question because I don't know what soft rock is either.
Bruh.
But if Roxy wants soft rock, I will find it out. And because guess I had no idea what an electric violin was either, right? I had no idea what the electric violin was. Ms. Rocco says, ready for all the new stuff. You know how we do it over here. We run it up. We don't miss because
We the best.
we are the best. And it says, why would I Google when y'all know everything? So I ask again, what is soft rock? And Magda says, honestly, I got it when Miss Freckles added the third cup. I just think that we have to make it more practical. I think tech is hard, but we don't have to make it harder than it really is. We just have to apply it to our everyday lives. If I had this problem to solve in the real world, how would I do it? And boom. And so it says, it clicked immediately and I made the problem more clear by 1,000. And that's what I try to do for people who are learning whatever they're trying to learn. I just try to make it more down to earth, more applicable. And once you can actually, the coding gets a lot easier, especially when you're learning it, like not the higher level concept, but when you're learning it, it gets a lot easier when you can actually break it down to like, how can I make this make sense to me? And then once you see it that way, you're like, oh, okay, boom, right? So it's going to click at some point. Let's see. It says it's the opposite. Wow. Roxy says matchy match. And it says, Maggie says, sorry, I went to bed early. It said, it's all good. And I did. It's all good. It says, that's what, I didn't say that. Let's see what else. And that's it. That is it. That is all that we have for it. And I just said, that's pretty cool. And Mitch says, Miss Freckles must not even know. Oh my God. All right. That is it for today, guys. We had an amazing show. I really, really appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
And also, by the way, one more time, Roxy, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You are very, very much appreciated. You are the best, Roxy.
We the best.
All right. With that being said, we're gonna wrap it up. But I have a question for you guys. I have one little question for you guys. The question is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I am very, very, very much entertained. But you guys know that yesterday's price is not today's price, and today's price is certainly never, ever tomorrow's price, because
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up, right? And with that said, this is Tech Coach Ralph with another episode of Software Explorations, Learning DevOps together with TCR. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Mitch stands tall among the crowd, fighting hard and speaking loud. Dreams for them as they decay, wants to lead but they just stray. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight they see nothing. He's the guardian with the shield on this broken battlefield. With each turn they let him down, but he won't turn back around. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight they see nothing. Why can't they just open eyes, see the world through Mitch's eyes? But they wander lost and blind, leaving Mitch to stand behind. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight they see nothing. He's the guardian with the shield on this broken battlefield. With each turn they let him down, but he won't turn back around. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight they see nothing.
Now they see that I was right, us right. I stood my ground in every fight. Told them once and told them twice. Guess it took the burn to open eyes. They advocated for the wrong side, ignored the truth that I could not hide. Now they're stranded.
Now they're turning back on broken dreams, wandering lost in twisted schemes.